Okay, display, MCR3, A cable for power, B cable comes out, into the Y, into the bulkhead as on that cat D4, comes out into their cable, into their blade sensor, and I have another cable with a simulated body sensor. So let's see if we have values. Trying to isolate, well, we're going to test this cable, test their sensor, and try to isolate where the problem is on their machine. If it's in here, we'll find out. Real quick. We don't have GPS, so there it is. Mc2 sensor not connected. 0 values. Okay. Alright, so now what we'll do, we'll isolate their blade cable. See, we have body, and that's the same thing as on the machine. Oh, wait a minute. We do have light on this blade sensor too. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. Alright, let's swap the cable and let's try that. Alright, so I bypassed the bulk head cable, the straight cable that goes under the hood through the engine mount, and bypassed their coil cable. I got a straight cable going into the Y. Let's restart. It's not going to connect to anything because I don't have GPS, so look at that. Look at that. Now we have sensor values. Alright, so we've identified the problem. Interesting, because all they did was impact their body, or their blade sensor. And I'll show you right here what it looked like. And obviously this cable is damaged. But also, it could be a bad bulkhead cable, which is very weird. Okay. Alright, so now I got it coming out of the B cable into the Y cable, splits, goes to the body, comes over here, goes into their bulkhead cable, out into a straight cable to the blade. So oh. Connected power to the wrong one. Alright, let's see. What's interesting is if this does go, how in the world did their bulkhead cable go bad from a damaged blade cable? And just all that did, it didn't damage the interior of that sensor, it just damaged the threading. So how in the world would a bulkhead cable go bad? That's the question. But this is why we take the stuff to the shop, so that we can sit here and play with it like this instead of jumping up and down on the equipment. I mean, that takes time, taking stuff apart. We don't need that. But see this? Interesting. Why is it not working through the bulkhead? That is interesting. I had it working with a straight cable connected straight to the Y, bypassed the bulkhead. This is my bulkhead. This is brand new, so it should be working. There's no reason for it not to be working. There it is. Alright, for some reason it didn't go the first time, but there it is. Okay, so we know the problem that exists on this Cat D4. It is this large bulkhead cable. Probably when this cable shorted out, as it most likely did, it messed up something in here. Alright, so we're back at the D4K. This is the one that had the damaged blade sensor and cable. I tested this morning, and the test says that this bulkhead cable is bad. Which is interesting. How in the world did that go bad? That would be the last thing I would expect to go bad. So let's put the system back in, get it up and running. You gotta yank the floor out. I'm gonna bypass that cable and throw our sensor on and see if we can't get it up and running. Alright, so I got the sensor on and I put a straight cable up to the hood mount, because if you watched my test earlier in the shop, I wasn't sure if it's this cable, the bulkhead cable, or the actual Y cable. I didn't isolate that problem. I figured I could just isolate that when I got out here. Very simple to do. So I'll just knock off this Y cable here and I'll put mine on and test it. One thing I know for sure from testing out this morning, it's either this Y cable or the bulkhead cable, which is this one here. So we'll see. So I got the new Y cable on. Let's give it a test. Let's see what happens. Oh, hope it's just a Y cable, because that's running that bulkhead's no fun, depending on how they put it in there. Probably got 3,000 zip ties. There we go. Alright, 3DMC, come on. Fire up that sensor. I can't imagine that cable went bad. Now I can see something like this shorting out from a major impact, a major short from that blade cable. It's still saying Mc2 sensor not connected. We're never going to connect to GPS. Well, I can't say that. Maybe, because they are on network out here, I do believe. I don't know why it's going that slow though. We'll give it a minute. We'll let it run. There we go. Alright, so it's connecting to the network. Mc2 sensor still not connected. Still no values. So it is. It is the bulkhead cable. That is so interesting, because that would be the last thing I would ever expect. So right now what I'll do is I'll take my bulkhead connector cable and I'll connect it up to that sensor cable and connect it in here and run it to that sensor and see if it comes alive, and it should, because it did in the shop. So now I'm running straight through to the sensor, bypassed what's in and under the hood, and let's just give this thing a restart. IMU not oriented correctly is all we have, but we have values. Alright, so restart and we should get it. Why would it come up not oriented correctly? And that is interesting. Now the other thing I had used in the shop that I didn't use here was a B cable. Coming out of the machine, I used mine, not theirs, running down into this Y cable. So could it be a B cable? I'm going to power down and let it restart. Maybe it is the B cable. That's interesting. Like I said, the only time I've ever seen one of these straight cables get damaged or go bad is if somebody hit it. That cable's all tucked up in there and out of the way of everything. So if this doesn't go, I'm gonna have to try a B cable. That was the third and final. There it is right there. So it's not a B cable, it is the straight cable running through the hood of the machine. That is so interesting. I have never encountered that. And if you remember from the video, all it did was smash into this. Something smashed into the sensor, broke the sensor head off, damaged the cable. It must have shorted out right up here in the head somewhere. That's all I can think. So I'll pop 2 bolts off. I'll have to get in there, remove that one, bring mine up, and call it a day. So I like to do things the easy way. I just cut the head off of that old one, the bad one, taped on the new one, and I'm just gonna pull it right on through and hope that it does go. Yes indeedy, that's the way it's done. Now I could just cut this old one out of here. Well, I might be able to pull it through, but I could cut it out in pieces too. I don't care about it. So I'll just take this tape off, run it in there and hook it up and screw it down, put the cable in, test it, good to go. Yeah, it's a little wet out here, but hey, you know, things gotta get done. Alright, got sensor on, got cable run. That's my test cable. They got their own coil cable. We got the new cable, the new under the hood mounted cable running up here, straight cables running into the cab. Alright, that wasn't so bad. Let's give it a test. See what happens. I'll bring you back. Alright, 3DMC's loading. Why is it still saying Mc2 sensor not connected? Come on. I still think there's more wrong with this, but because if I have to restart it again to get it to go, something's fishy. It's a brand new cable. I'm pretty sure I got all those wires right. Come on. It's on a network. That's why it takes so long. There it comes. There we go. Alright, green. So that's good. So we have to figure out why this doesn't have such good connection. Let's see if this needs updates. Yeah, we can update this one. Let's see what the 3DMC looks like. Yeah, that's 2018. Yeah, let's go ahead and update this one. That's why it's running so slow. We do have the sensors back online, so that's good. Plus for us, and I'll go get the firmware. There we go. Beautiful. I like it. That's it. They got a new cable to put on that. They can put that cable on. That one's ready to go back to work.